Those are some nice special words, Daryl, and I appreciate it. And I hand it off to you. Yeah. Thank you.
Natsiam Kusamat Sanasnet Chokwachlamisan. My name is Shirley Williams, and I'm a member of the Lummi Nation, and I'm thankful to be here tonight. You know, you can't do any better than be with like-minded individuals and people who are one mind for the purpose of the work. And there's so many people in this room tonight that have supported our work, and I really appreciate it. It's like the Creator is bringing us together for a purpose, and it's rejuvenating to have that be lifted up like that, because it hasn't been easy, you know. It hasn't been easy with the decisions that have been made lately. So I told Charlene, I said, I'm going to dream big, and I'm going to say it out loud, okay? Because I was a little bit scared to say it out loud. But I'm a community medicine RN, and I'm stationed at the Lummi Youth Academy. I've been there since 2008. I've watched the kids go up Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I've seen the wraparound services around our youth, and I've seen them grow and become healthier individuals. But as a community medicine RN, I felt like I was just band-aiding the situation as a Western nurse, because I see the increased rate of endocrine disruption, reproductive disorders, and cancers, not only in man, but in animal. So, as respected elders have said, when the tide is out, the table is set. But what I felt in my heart in saying to the youth that I serve is, I'm sorry, children, but all your food is poisoned, it's being depleted, and it's being diverted. Or I'm supposed to say, here, children, drink water and not pop. But sorry, children, I see from birth to primary tooth eruption that you have been poisoned. Or I'm supposed to say, here, children, eat vegetables and fruit, but I'm sorry, I don't know where that, if it's GMO, the land or soil that it's been on. So, as respected elders have said, the reason why we have so much adversity is because we've lost our connection to Mother Earth. I have seen the Western up here, the Chelangan down here, our way of life down here. There's an imbalance. Mental and physical, that's where we're at right now. I think, I consume, and I do not feel. The spiritual and emotional is down here. So what we did since 2014 is we've been bringing our children back out into our ancestral homelands to reconnect them to who they are and where they come from. Because as respected elders said, the first part of any healing process is to know who you are and where you come from. And as neuroscience, epigenetics, adverse childhood experience, and resilience is now showing, memory is stored in DNA. So we've held several Salish mini universities called, and it's been in honor of the spirit of the Shwala, the reef net. So of all things, we're here to honor the salmon. And that's what we've been doing with our work for the last couple of years. Because as a respected elder also said, and I didn't understand what he was saying to me until just recently, but it's so important what he said. He said, the Creator gave us a sacred responsibility to the land, to the water, to the salmon, to the reef net, and to the language that belongs to it. And if that is not supported, it's cultural, spiritual genocide. So in all the work that we've been doing, we've been trying so hard with our, putting our souls into the work that we're doing with the youth. After 1 week with the youth, I asked one of the young girls, her mother was in prison, her father's deceased, she grew up off reservation. I asked her, if you could say one heartfelt thing about what you learned, what would it be? She said, our culture is amazing, the reef net is amazing, and the salmon people are worth saving. And so that summed it all up. If I dreamed of keepers of the tradition and protectors of the circle of life, then she just said it all in one statement, and that meant the world to me. Because what I was seeing is that the children that I'm serving, they don't know the power of who they are and where they come from has the power to protect Mother Earth. They don't understand they don't understand our treaties. They don't understand public trust. They don't understand the climate change issues. They're not, my daughter is sitting out there and she's very frustrated with the system. She wants to be able to learn things of substance, and it's not being taught in the school system. So of course, these children are not learning the power of who they are and where they come from, because Senate Bill 5433 just passed, where Native American history has to be taught in schools. But the great thing about what's happening right here is that we're seeing a paradigm shift. We're seeing things change, and that is wonderful. And we're going to have to really stand together, because I'm wondering, how are we really going to do it? It's going to have to be civil society that's going to have to stand together. And the salmon people are worth saving, and we're all salmon people indigenous to Mother Earth. That's it. Right? So this is my dream right here. So based on Whiteswan Environmental's presentation of a reflection of Indigenous public health and our Chilangith inherent birthrights, from resistance to restoration to protect the Salish Sea through the spirit of the Shwala for the next 7 generations, we offer these thoughts to ponder as we hopes to inspire a continued measure of resilience as the Chilangith inherent birthrights, or Aboriginal title, is superseding treaties in First Nation territories. Louise Mandel, QC First Nation Aboriginal and Treaty Rights lawyer. And as our treaties and public trust doctrines are 2 essential tools to help protect our environment, Mary C. Woods, environmental law scholar, we envision a Coast Salish Tribal Heritage Field Institute will forever allow our people to practice their treaty rights and inherent birthrights, and in doing so, offer a measure of cultural, historical, scientific, and ecological health protection and sustainability that can be modeled across the United States and Canada, as they also work with their community with one mind. And so that's my big vision. And I have these rocks to give me hope that this will happen. But I talked to Louise Mandel, and she is very inspired by that vision. And Mary C. Woods was here at the Bellingham Unitarian Fellowship, and she was the one that gave me this, idea. She says, why don't you just go and put your longhouses back out into your traditional homelands? People will help you with it. They'll help you with it. So then the dream became big, because as we won Whiteswan, what our treaty protection officers said is the SSA developers came in and they said, you Indians have no right because you don't even practice anymore. Well, that really hurts, because we've had a level of oppression, historical trauma. So we're wanting to get out and to do these things, and we're finally seeing support of the community for us to be able to do these things. This has not happened, I don't know when, but there's some kind of collective energy that's coming in right now that's opening up the doors. And I don't know what it is, because right now the work we're doing is with the Bureau of Land Management National Monument, and it's with the National Park Service. We finally have 2 leaders out there in the San Juan Islands who are welcoming our people in, and they want to hear our story for the first time in all of these years. If you go out to English camp, I don't know how many of you ever went out to English camp, but there's all British buildings there. There's nothing that shows our children who we are as a people out there. When I brought our children out there, they didn't know they came from anything but reservations. They didn't know that. So now they know Lalinquit, they know Papiawit, and now we have dedicated to the National Park Service on the 100th centennial, a reef net captain and 2 salmon storyboards out there. And our big goal is to be able to work with the National Park Service to get our first longhouse back out there. And Jules, the visionary, and I follow Jules' visions, and I think 2 of them came true already. And he dreams of 7 longhouses out there. So we placed the 7 longhouses out there, and we work with the Canadian government as well. We're able to establish it out there. It's beyond epistemicide, knowledge, democracy, and education. That's what you're supporting here as we do that, because we're able to create an Indigenous education program where we can follow. This is what I think, because if there was another natural disaster, what has happened to our people in the last 100 years is we have depleted our children from knowing how to survive off the land. They don't know how to do it. They are at the mercy of the industrial flood right now. It is up to us to help them become these survivors of the flood again. We need to help them do that. We deserve it. We deserve to have that lifted up. But not only is it just the cultural restoration or the scientific restoration, because the Shwala, the reef net, is the most respectful, sustainable way to produce the most high quality salmon, but it's operated by 11 non-native people. So you were either forced out or outlawed depending on what side of the border you were on. But is there steam behind that sacred technology? Yes, there is. So let's prove that there was steam behind everything, science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics behind everything that we did. But not only does it help in that manner, restore that for our people, but it helps for all people because it becomes a measure of ecological health protection so that the big developers can't come in and they cannot destroy our property. SSA developers can't come in and they cannot destroy our property. So that's why I dream of such a big vision like that. And when I talk to our treaty protection officer, we base it on the Chelangat, the Aboriginal tridal that crosses the medicine line of the 49th parallel. Or you base it on the treaties and the public trust doctrines. We get our children to understand this power of the public trust doctrine. They become the protectors of the circle of life. And then when we place each longhouse into the ancestral island, we place it under articles and sections of the United Nations Declaration of the Rights of the Indigenous Peoples. So, holds the cry of our people. The DNA of the reef net and the salmon is inside of this man. And I follow the healing, and I've seen too much healing. So.
I just want to wish everyone a safe journey on their way up to Lelu Island. We look at the flag over here with the orca on it, our relative that doesn't have a voice. He's fighting for his life. Science was on TV talking about if they have an additional 400 cargo tankers in the Burrard Inlet, the whales will not survive. So we're at this tipping point where I think we really all need to get to the same page and work together and see this industrial flood doesn't affect all of us as human beings. We're all subject to a catastrophe, a man-made catastrophe of the Kinder Morgan pipeline goes to. And if we have one accident in the Salish Sea, we will all be a part of something that is bigger than us. And the animals won't make it. So I just wish, our message, we really just need to work together, that's the message. We don't have a choice. We just gotta be one mind for the purpose of the work. I just wanna thank Beth for facilitating this space. It's always a pleasure to see you, Beth, and it's an honor to be here, and I'm humbled tonight. And I just want to thank you for that. But on the other hand, it's also a very special night here for the Salish Sea group, and it's just, I'm really glad to be here. Just want you guys to know that I didn't really expect to be speaking, but I'm thankful that I'm here.